My name is Dr. Michael Watins. Today we're going to go over a number of exercises that you can start to do at home. The exercises are vital for you to do right now, especially with COVID, especially with quarantine, not being able to make it to a gym. It's mandatory, very important for your health that you start exercising on a regular, consistent basis. If you're watching this, I assume you're a patient of mine, we've gotten you out of pain, chances are you're getting a lot more mobility and it's time to exercise. So I want to start going through some exercises that you can do. Jay's going to show you some exercises that are great for you and things that you can incorporate at home. Jay's going to show us how to do a squat. It's a great exercise also that you can do at home. Basically, it's pretty straightforward. We all know how to do it, but it's actually a lot more complex than people think. So Jay's gonna give us some basic information or basic ways to go about doing it. So when you squat and you go down, Jay, what's the first thing that you're actually paying attention to?
My feet.
The feet have to be on the floor. You're not raising them up. You're not lifting it into heels. When you go down, the second thing that you want to pay attention to is the knees. You don't want the knees going past the front of the foot. The more the knees go forward, the more stress you tend to put on your knees. So you want to keep the knees back a little bit. The more the knees are back, more over the ankle, the better the line of force, the less stress you're putting on your joints, the better it's going to be. Ideally, you should be able to go down about 90 degrees. Once you get down to about 90 degrees, that's usually good enough. Jay, do me a favor, just stand lateral so they can see the side view of you. So when Jay's doing it this way, look at where his knee is relative to the foot. It's kind of staying on top of the foot. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Jay, can you show us how not to do it? Sometimes it's really easy if you can do that. Like, see how much his knee is going out now? You feel probably a lot of stress on the knee when you do that, right?
Right.
The exercise now that Jay's going to go through is called Palof's exercise. And it's a great core stabilization exercise. It actually hits the shoulders, it hits the core, it hits the hips. It really is a great general body, upper body strengthening exercise. It's probably one of the top 5 core exercises that someone can do. There's a couple of ways of doing this. If you see he's kind of rotating his arms a little bit, that's one way. You can also, Jay, just try pushing the arms forward and backwards. And that's another way of doing it. And then you can even do that. Or you can even angle the arms upward to the corner of the room, up to the ceiling. Like this, Jay. This one is a good one. And so you can hit it a lot of different angles when you're doing this. And what it will do is really hit and give a lot more stability for your upper back and your shoulder as well as the core. We're going to show you how to do some TheraBand exercises at home. The way to hook up and do the exercise at home is by attaching the TheraBand to a door. Jay, if you can just show us how to hook this up. What you do is you wrap the band around the door and you can single loop it if you want to make it easier. If you want to make it a little harder, you can double loop it. And then what you do is we're going to show you how to do it so it's nice and stable. Let's go outside and actually do the exercise so the door's closed. So give us a second. And now essentially what we have is a pulley that we can do our exercises with. The exercise that Jay's showing you now is called a row, and it's great for strengthening the muscles between your shoulder blades. Specifically, it strengthens the rhomboids, the shoulders, the upper back, and it gives stability and helps with reduce neck and shoulder tension. And if you look at the way Jay is doing it, his arm is going forward and his palm is going forward, downward. And when he does that, he's strengthening the area between the shoulder blades. And you hold it for about 30 seconds, and then from there, you're gonna put your hands above you, so come on up, Jay. And what you're doing, if you notice, his hips are not on his heels. The reason why they're not on his heels is you want your hip muscles engaged. You also want to try to stick your back out a little bit so you get a nice arch into it, and that engages the back stabilization muscles. And then your hands are going above your head, and that by doing that, you're getting a really good stretch, working on flexibility. It's a very good functional exercise. It's going to also build up some core stability. And this is something you should be doing, and you can hold it for 3 sets with 30 seconds each. Chops are a great exercise. A great exercise for your core, build stability. The stronger, exactly. The stronger your core is, the less stress you're gonna put on the back, the better your back will be. It also helps in terms of neck and shoulder stability. And if you look at the way Jay's doing it right now, his hips really aren't moving much. So his motion is coming from the core and from his upper body. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to shoot for 3 sets of 30 of this. It'll start to engage those core muscles, build up some stability. It's a great exercise that you can do at home, all this from your house. All you need is the TheraBand and the doorknob and one door, and you're pretty much all set. Jay's gonna show you how to do a tricep exercise. It's another great exercise that you can do from home. Basically, you put the TheraBand on top of the door, just the way he did, and now it's gonna be nice and stable. And then if you look at him, you can see how he's bringing his arms down. And by doing that, he's gonna start strengthening the tricep. And the goal should be to try to do 3 sets of 30. We wanna start getting our muscles working, build up some strength. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that on top of the door. And now it should be nice and stable. And now he goes down on one knee, and he's gonna basically pull down. So he's doing almost like a lat pull down that he'd be doing at a gym. And be careful when you're doing this, that your form is good, that your head is looking straight ahead, and you're maintaining a neutral posture. And when you do that, you're gonna start engaging your lats, which is one of your back muscles. And it's just an easy way of getting a workout at home without actually going to a gym. It's just another exercise that you can do to help strengthen your upper body. Shoulder press is a great exercise also to help strengthen the shoulder. Jay's showing you how to do it. He basically stood on top of the TheraBand and he's pushing the band up to the ceiling. That helps strengthen the shoulder muscles. If you notice, he starts with his arm in front of him. By doing that, it takes a lot of tension off the shoulder. It's a smoother motion. And then as the arm goes up, he starts to rotate it externally. When he rotates it, it makes it less stress on the shoulder. It's a more comfortable motion, less irritation on the shoulder muscles, and yet it still strengthens. It's a much better exercise for most people with neck problems than to bring it off laterally. Jay, can you just show us how to do it laterally, the way that would actually put more shoulder tension? So when you do it the way he's doing it now, it probably feels a little tighter. Jay, it doesn't feel a little less smooth. It's just not the most comfortable motion relative to the other. So we like to modify the lift to compensate and take tension off the neck and shoulder. Jay's gonna show you how to do another TheraBand exercise. It's a lateral raise. Basically, you can put the band on the floor and you stand on it. And then what you do is you're gonna bring your arms laterally up to the side and then bring it down again. And you're gonna repeat that. Really try for 3 sets of 15 if you can. It'll help stabilize the shoulder and strengthen the lateral muscles of the shoulder. It's another great exercise that you can do at home. The more you start doing these exercises, the stronger you'll start to get, the better your health will be, the better you'll do over time. The exercise now that we're gonna do that's also really good for the quadratus lumborum. It's a great stretch for that. It also stretches out the hip flexors. It also, by getting motion in the spine, it pulls fluid into the disc, which also helps make the disc a little bit healthier. This is a great exercise that you should be doing. Jay, if you can go into a lunge position. And when you do this, you want to keep your feet pointing forward. You also want to keep your hips pointing forward. And then what you do is you put your hands above your head. And now when you've done that, arch your back as much as it goes, like try to extend all the way. And then bend a little bit to your upper leg. So Jay, you're gonna, instead of bending you're gonna bend to your right side. Just a little bit. You're not gonna bend too far because you've already taken all the range of motion out with extension. And so the range of motion is gonna be limited, but it's gonna hit the quadratus lumborum, it's gonna affect and stretch out the hip flexors. And it's a great exercise for the low back and to take stress off it, especially when you're at a desk sitting all day.